I don't know who you are.
But I know who you are. Captain, America's hero, dancing around in red, white, and blue underwear.
Says the man dressed like an overgrown house cat.
That shield that you hide behind does not belong to you. You are unworthy of it.
I don't have time for this.
Neither do I.
The moment where we actually end up seeing any official gameplay for this title is the moment where heads will roll. But regardless, welcome back true believers and all you merry Marvelites out there to another very interesting video which directly involves an upcoming AAA Marvel game where we haven't heard any updates about this project ever since March earlier this year. And in this case, I am specifically talking about Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra, which is currently in development by Skydance New Media. And if you recall, this is the Marvel game which is being led by the main creator of the Uncharted games with the one and only Amy Hennig. And if you have been following my channel for quite some time now, then you would know that we've heard quite a lot about this game throughout the past few years. And today is no exception, because after waiting over 8 months since our last official news drop for this game, we now have a brand new and exclusive article from Entertainment Weekly which thoroughly goes on to break down some brand new exclusive information about the world of Marvel 1943, as well as the primary narrative that this game will entail. And after reading this entire article for myself, I for one have become even more excited for everything that this game has to offer. So if you're beyond hyped to see more of Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra in action, then definitely be sure to thwip that like button and subscribe to the channel for even more Marvel games videos like this down the line. Now, this brand new article from Entertainment Weekly is a pretty layered read, and while I'm not going to read the entire article word for word within this video, I will be sure to highlight the most important pieces of information about this game within the article that we haven't already heard from Amy Hennig and Skydance New Media before within previous interviews. And if you do want to read the entire article for yourself, then I will be sure to leave a link to it in the description below. So as the article states, is that Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra boss sets the stage for globe-trotting World War II epic, with an exclusive look at the Wakanda setting. And as it's directly stated by the award-winning writer and director who is currently heading Skydance New Media herself of Amy Hennig, indicates that Wakanda and occupied Paris are both key locations within the game. As Captain America and Black Panther's worlds collide in Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra, the upcoming video game from Skydance and Marvel Games, the developers sought to introduce different colors to Cap and Panther's relationship as they pinpointed World War II as the time period for their AAA console release, set in their own pocket of the Marvel multiverse. And to quote Amy Hennig herself about working on Marvel 1943, is that she states it led us to do a bunch of interesting things. One of which was to not only tell a story with a young Steve Rogers who's still trying to find his feet, as opposed to the more seasoned guy that we've seen in a lot of the films. It also let us introduce a new Black Panther of 1943. And to remind all of you, is that the Black Panther that we see within Marvel 1943 is not that of T'Challa, but instead, we are going to be directly playing as T'Challa's grandfather during the World War II era with that of Azuri. It led us to tap into all the things that I love. All of the wonderful tropes of World War II era adventure films, classic men on a mission movies, and all of that. There's a lot of intrigue in our story, a lot of twists and turns, fascinating characters, and interesting locations. And shockingly, we do have a brand new look at one of these locations within this Entertainment Weekly article, where EW can reveal an exclusive look at one such location, the lush, dense jungles of Wakanda, which Hennig confirms is a key setting alongside occupied Paris. And as Amy states herself, we wanted to tell a globe-trotting story, but there are yet to be revealed locations in between, while mainly emphasizing the importance of the quote-unquote photo-real, cinema-real level of detail, which primarily comes with the animation for a setting like Wakanda, which is not just meant to properly immerse players into the environment, but to reinforce the idea that both Steve and Azuri come from very different worlds when they meet in Paris. Wakanda Wakanda at this point in time is hidden away from the outside world and is protected by this impenetrable jungle. They are non-interventionists, but events transpire that pull them into the conflict. They have to protect their interests. The world is getting smaller. No satellites yet, but there will be soon. You can shoot down planes that maybe want to fly over Wakanda, but how long can you stay in the shadows? And for the cases of both Cap and Panther, is that they are confronting the same enemies, and they are concerned about the same events that are transpiring, but they're initially almost working against each other. Good people have to work together to overcome evil. If you separate, then you're not going to succeed. And above everything else, the main goal that Amy has in mind when it comes to Marvel 1943 is that while Marvel can get pretty fantastical, especially when leaning into the multiverse, Hennig notes that their mission is to keep the game as grounded as possible. We're entirely CG, so it's really easy to get ungrounded real quick. You can see even the movies can fall under that trap. Too much CG and you don't know the ground you're standing on. We really want the visual fidelity to be high so that you could kind of forget that you're looking at a game, that it should feel and look and sound and smell that you're watching a great Marvel movie or TV show, but you're driving the action. And to end this article off with a final quote from Amy herself is that as a new studio trying to do some groundbreaking stuff with cinematically presented games, the way we invite the most people is by bringing them something they already know and love, but in a new form. And I, for one, couldn't agree more. As it currently stands right now, is that Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra is easily shaping up to be the most cinematically realistic and grounded Marvel game that we have ever received. And taking Amy Hennig's track record into consideration with the phenomenal first 3 Uncharted games which she directly worked on, I have no doubt that this game is in good hands. And considering how lifelike every single one of the character models and environments look within this game, especially considering that it's being developed on Unreal Engine 5, is definitely going to make Marvel 1943 a visual and graphical powerhouse by the time it releases in 2025. However, while all these details about Marvel 1943 are well and good, and does make me extremely excited for all the graphical and narrative potential that this game could include, the main factor that everyone is questioning at this point is what exactly the gameplay will be like for this experience. Because if you recall, we're not only going to be playing as just Black Panther and Captain America within this game, but rather, they are merely 2 of 4 playable characters that we will be able to interact with within this experience, where alongside of playing as Steve Rogers as Captain America and Azuri as Black Panther, we are also going to be playing as a Howling Commando soldier known as Gabriel Jones, who is described within this game to be a reliable sharpshooter, as well as a Wakandan spy known as Nanali, who is extremely skilled in the art of infiltration. And throughout the main campaign of Marvel 1943, gamers will be able to play as 4 different characters during the portions of the narrative, which will be taking advantage of all of their unique skill sets, which I, for one, am very curious to see how exactly this will play out by the time we see gameplay of Marvel 1943 in action. And I, for one, just can't wait to see everything that Skydance New Media and Marvel Games has in store. But with all that said, everybody, that's the video I have for all you today, and please let me know all your thoughts in the comment section down below. On a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you for Marvel 1943 Rise of Hydra? And out of all the main characters that we're going to be able to play as within this game, mainly with that of Captain America, Black Panther, Gabriel Jones, and Nanali, which character are you looking forward to playing as the most? Let me know what you think, be sure to leave a like on the video, and subscribe to the channel if you did enjoy, and for more Marvel Games videos like this in the future. Thank you all so much for watching, stay merry Marvelites, and until next time, peace out.